Alright, what's up guys, Basic Nerf here, and I'm here to show you my Jungle Magazine slash box magazine tutorial and the 4 different kinds of box magazines slash jungle magazines that I ran into and used a bit. Now you guys are probably wondering, Basic Nerf, what is, for those who don't know, what is jungle magazine style? It's a style where you tape or attach 2 or more magazines together to speed up your reload. I've used it before in Nerf games and battles. It's a very effective way and quick way to carry more ammo and to reload. You guys are probably wondering also, well, I already know how to make these and it already looks so simple to make. Why do you have 4 different kinds? And is there any differences between them? There are a little bit of differences between them. The reasons I have 4 different kinds of magazines, jungle magazines, is because of people's budget and what they have in their inventory. For example, you might not have 2 Firefly Tech magazines, but you have 2 $18 magazines, so you can probably make this easier than this, for example. So I'll be going over the pros and cons of each one, and then I'll get to a tutorial on how to make each one. Alright, the first 18 dart jungle magazine is probably the simplest because it only requires 2 magazines. And they're easy to get. You can buy them in stores for about $11 US dollars each. It's really simple, just when you need to reload, take it out. You can either flick your wrist all the way down for a 360 turn and stick it in, or you can go, more like a 180. It's really up to you. The downside of 2 of these jungle magazines, this one is that since it's facing downward, darts could come out of the bottom when you're playing, or they might get misaligned, they might bump into stuff. So when you load it without looking, you could get a jam. But still, it's a pretty solid alternative, or it's a pretty solid choice, I should say. Second one is my personal favorite. It's 2 18-dart magazines with a 6-dart magazine in between. The reason for the 6-dart magazine in between is that it gives the magazine space. So when you put it into a blaster, the magazines are hugging up against each other and they can't go in. What's also good about this is that they're both facing upwards already. So all you gotta do is just take out one and then stick in the other. Don't have to worry about flipping it. So that's already eliminating a lot of the trouble and work of a jungle mag when you're using it. Also, if you drop it, the 6-dart magazine will absorb more of the shock than the 18-dart mag, so it'll be taking the blunt of the force and damage, so your 18-dart magazines will last longer. Again, this is my personal favorite one. On to the third one. This is the highest capacity jungle magazine that I've seen. In theory, you could just keep strapping on, magazines, but 3 I think is a solid number. Got 2 facing up, and you got 1 down, but again, same problem could arise as this one where the darts get knocked out or misaligned. Also, for example, something like a dump pouch that I use to dump my spent magazines might not fit in there because of this extra part. So again, just check your equipment, your environment. If you don't mind just tossing these on the ground when you play, that's fine. The last one, again, is probably very simple. I have some Firefly Tech magazines. I don't use them because of the battery system, a little bulky. So I just decided to duct tape them together, and they work pretty well. But a con about these is that they're a little bit heavier than normal 18-dart magazines and a little bit bulkier on the side, so it'll take up more room wherever you store it or load it. Again, not everyone has these. I'm just trying to figure out a spare usage for them. Alright guys, that's the 4 different types of jungle magazines that I've made and used, and we'll get on to a tutorial right now. Alright guys, so for the first box magazine slash jungle clip, all you're going to need again is just 2 18-dart magazines. It can be the Stampede ones that were solid, it can be the clear ones that were, you can buy in stores. And once again, like I said in the video, you gotta know what blaster you're gonna use it for and your own preferences. So if I were to do it, I'd probably tape it together. I'd probably flip it. So the top end has got to be facing, you know, the correct way, and then when you flip it, the bottom it's got to be facing the opposite way. So all I gotta do is just grip the magazine, stick it together, and make sure the bottom one underneath this line. And it's not going to be, for me, I wouldn't put it extremely straight because the lines are going to be up against each other and it's just going to simply fall into one another over time anyway. So just make it, you know, put the lines in each other's groove. The other thing I gotta do is just get some duct tape and duct tape around. And voila, two solidly put together magazines. I can flip. If I put it in a blaster, here's my master key. Just see how it's sticking there just fine, even with this piece of tape. All I gotta do is just remove it, flip it. Voila. Again, you depend. Just, you know, think to yourself how you're gonna reload / flip the magazine. I put it, you know, like a 180 flip, a 360 flip, I mean. But, you know, I would actually rather do a 180 flip in battle. You just flick your wrist to one direction, and, you know, if this were facing that way, then it would go in. Or, you know, flip it around 360. Again, depends on the magazine, which way you stick it, and depends on you and your preference. Alright, here's my favorite magazine, Jungle Magazine one. All you need is two 18-dart clips. Again, it can be the clear ones. And you need a 6-dart magazine. And that goes in between the niche here, goes underneath these lines. And same way for the other magazine. And they're together. Again, just line those up. And there you go. You got two. Make sure they're facing the same way. And a bottom 6-dart magazine here to space them out. And I like it because it's just, they're both facing upwards. Just hit the button. Go to the next one. So fairly simple. Alright guys, this is the biggest, highest capacity of the Jungle mag. 3 18-dart mags times 3 is 54 darts. So there's different ways again to do it. I would probably get 2 magazines, make sure they're facing the same way, stick them close together, and the third magazine goes in between. Again, I'd probably, since I'm going to do the flip angle, it'd probably be this way, and then stick it there. And the niches for the outside magazine should match the inside, or get it close to it as possible. And should try to make this profile again as slim as possible, or as tucked in as possible. Then just get some tape once again. And then there you go. Pretty easy. Oops, I put it in the wrong way. But so make sure to just, you know, stick them together without tape and try it without the tape before you start doing stuff. So here it is in my master key. Real simple. And if this was flipped the right way, I would just be able to stick it in, but I cannot. But yeah, you guys get the picture. Real simple to make. All I need is duct tape and about 2 magazines, and you got it. Alright guys, we're here with the next magazines. These are 2 Firefly magazines. These are the magazines that came in the Raven. You can also use the bright green ones that come with the Elite Raven. It's really up to you. Now again, all you gotta do is, since the LED part, I don't really use it during games, so I don't really use these magazines because they're just bulkier than the 18 ones. They don't fit in my chest rig, so I figure let's make a use for them. Let's make jungle mags. So the space in between should give you, a nice orientation. Just simply line them up. Again, just get your duct tape. And bam! Got your own jungle mags there. Let's try it on again, my master key. And they'll fit just fine. Didn't do the best taping job here, but it doesn't really matter as long as they stick together and they're on the straight side or on the parallel side of each other. Alright guys, that's the end of my video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys learned something from it. And feel free to share, what? Will you guys be using jungle magazines in the future? And if so, which one of these will you be using? I guess we'll just call them number 1, 2, 3, and 4 for now. Or Firefly Tech 1, 54 dart capacity one, the 6 dart clip in the middle one, and the up and down one. I don't know. But just make some sort of obvious reference like that. Leave a comment. I'm very interested in hearing from you guys about what kind of jungle mag you'll be using in the future, if you will be using them in the future. And that's the video for now, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it again, and peace out.